everyone, welcome to our channel. 22nd of February 2023 to be precise, BBC has reported a very viral news that has made headlines in Poland as well as in India. The headline being how Ukraine war led to an Indian beer. So today we have with us Mr. Chandramohan Nallur, and so we are going to be talking about his business, his future plans and his family in Poland. So Chandu Chettan, welcome to our channel Poland Talks.
Thank you, Anuradha, and thank you Poland Talks for having me on your show. And hello to all the viewers of Poland Talks.
So I would start with the typical question when one Malayali asks another Malayali when they meet outside of country, and that would be "Na till evreya." Did I say it correctly?
Yeah, you did. Close to, well, a Malayali can figure out what you asked.
I hope you guys don't cancel me, but yeah.
I mean, I can see that you've learned a bit of Malayalam
Yes,
to cover the Malayali.
I tried. So
Na
"Na
till-
till evreya."
I was born in Palakkad, then I moved to Calicut for my studies.
And the second question is, "Entake un visheshangal."
വിശേഷങ്ങളൊക്കെ നല്ലത് തന്നെ സുഖമായിരിക്കുന്നു.
Beautiful.
I hope you understood what I said or you just know the question.
I felt it.
Okay.
How long has it been for you in Poland?
It's close to 10 years. This is the 10th year I'm in Poland.
10 years in Poland.
Yes.
So I have been asked this question like millions of times, and I don't know how to answer it. People keep asking me why Poland, so I want you to answer it. Why Poland?
The simple answer is why not Poland?
I know, right?
Yeah.
I give the same answer.
See, I was basically based out of Spain, and I moved to Poland due to my work. That's how I came to Poland. And I'm married to Pole, so I'm based out of Poland these days.
Can you talk about your family? How many?
Family, my wife, she's Dr. Nallur. She's a she's a psychologist for autistic and Down syndrome kids.
That's amazing.
She does behavioral correction and speech therapy for them, so that an autistic kid can go into a normal school. So that's what she does. And we have two kids, two daughters. One is Maya, she's 8 years old, and the little one is Julia, she's 3 years old. She goes to kindergarten, and Maya is in her second class.
Because you were married to a Polish woman, so do you have any fun stories? Why? Because there could be some misunderstanding while translating those things, and
We don't have that because we speak in English.
yeah.
But my elder daughter, when she was small, I was trying to teach her Malayalam. So I was talking to her in Malayalam, and there was one incident wherein my wife was trying on a dress, and she asked me, "How does she look?" Like, husband and wife. So I said, "You look very pretty," and then I told in Malayalam to my daughter that maybe Amma korchu tadichirikkunnu. That means your mother is a bit fat. And this little devil, she understands Malayalam. She used to talk till she translated that straight to Polish to her mother. That daddy said that you look fat. So, that's when I realized the dangers of translation, that I have a mini translator walking around, and I've been very careful.
How did your family react to it when you said you're marrying a Polish woman? How did you introduce her to your family?
On a Zoom call. Oh, no, not on a Zoom call, sorry. There was no Zoom. On a Skype call.
Ah, okay.
I literally got Skype these days.
Yeah.
On a Skype call, and I introduced my mother, father, and my grandparents that I have found this great girl who I would love to marry, and we would love to live together. That's how I introduced. And one good thing with my parents is they brought me up, and my brother in a way, when they have always said to us that the education is the best gift they can give to us, which they have given. What to do with it, what you've learned in life, and how to live your life is solely upon you. Of course, that doesn't mean that you cannot seek advices from them. You can, but then we had the freedom to choose and live, and we just got married, and life has been kind of okay.
Oh, that's nice. So, can you tell us few perks of marrying a Polish woman?
The biggest perk being I don't know about all Polish women. I cannot comment on that. But one thing which I can say about me is my partner or my life partner is exactly how I had imagined someone to be, who will not depend on me at all because I'm totally not dependable.
Yeah.
And she will take care of things, and she's quite great at it.
Yeah.
And coming to the usual mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, the conflicts which normally people speak about, especially in India, these days that's changing. That is non-existent in this case because two don't talk the same language. Because for my wife, Polish is a mother tongue, and for my mother, it's Malayalam.
Yeah.
So the language which they bond on each other is English. So they literally don't have much conflicts because of that.
So you think that because Indian in-laws have the same common language, that's why most of the conflicts happen?
Usually, yes. That's what I think.
It's better to marry
Yeah.
Okay. And bringing up to this, would you like to tell our audience about this Malayali beer? How did you come up with it, and what went behind the logo and everything about it?
I mean, I think it's a repeated story in all the media.
Yeah.
But still, again, the story goes this way. This is actually an accidental business which I've been out of many things which I've done in life. And it's during the Ukraine-Russia conflict, which everybody knew that the whole world was in chaos at that point. Me being part of the Indo-Polish Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I help Indian companies to do business with Poland, and Poland companies to do business in India. We had a client, we still have a client, we still have them as a client, KS Global. They're rice importers.
Okay.
They're based out of Poland now. They are importing rice from India and distributing in the European market. So they had a client, an African client, who had ordered rice flakes. Exactly 4 days prior to the containers hitting the port, the war had broken out and the dollar and Polish currency prices changed drastically.
Right.
So when it went haywire, the business deal collapsed. And the client was asking, what we could do with the rice flakes, because if it is normal rice, it could be sold in different restaurants, which they are always doing. Being flakes, it's not an easy task. So we did a research on it, and initial plan was to actually discuss with pet food companies and try to do something with the flakes. But that turned out to be a long process. That's when I realized that pets eat much better food than us. They said close to 9 months is what they do research and testing on the product to make sure that this is safe for the animals. So that was out of question. Then came the idea of going and talking to the healthy bar companies, the healthy bars, the protein bars.
Yeah, the protein bars, yeah.
But there they don't use the flakes, but they use the oats.
Oats, yeah.
So it was not attractive, and the quantity was quite huge to move. And finally we went and asked Dr. Google, what is the next possible plan, Like everybody else. I didn't know about ChatGPT at that time, else I would have done that. So coming to that, we just saw that rice flake beer is quite popular. Japanese beers are quite popular. And also there is a beer called Komban, which was in UK, which is made out of rice.
Okay.
So that idea came up, and there is a friend of mine, his name is Lijo. He is in fact the first beerpreneur here in Poland, Indian beerpreneur. He has his own brand named Calicut. Again, a South Indian city named Calicut. So we approached him asking about the brewery because he has experience. So he guided us about the brewery. We went and spoke to a couple of breweries of his choice, and they said that we could try doing it because it's something different which is not so popular here. And a friend of mine, Sargi, who was a partner, he was the one who created the recipe to do that. And the minimum order the brewery had told us is that we have to do 2,000 to 4,000 liters.
Okay.
At that point, creating that and building or producing 2,000 liters for no reason, it was something which we couldn't really manage to do.
Right.
So we approached few restaurants to seek a help. It was not for profit or as a business, but rather to move the product out. So we were labeling in the brewery's name itself and giving it out as a white label beer for the restaurants. But one thing which we got is like the repeated orders started coming in. The restaurants started ordering it like back to back.
Wow.
And a couple of restaurants asked like, why don't you do it as a business then?
Yeah.
Because the beer is pretty acceptable in the market. And the best part was the risk. It was actually, we didn't do a research on it, but the study which we did, this beer was pretty light and women folk started liking it.
I can vouch for it. I have tried your beer and like genuinely I don't like beer at all. Like it's very strong for me and it's very frizzy and everything. But this is not from my dad and mom. But I actually like this beer a lot. So I think women would love it. And also this won't get your beer belly, right?
No.
So there you have it.
That is something which we were like quite serious about when we decided to go into as a serious business. That something which women would like, and the beer belly problem, which is like, which is very common, is we're not saying that you won't get a beer belly.
Yeah.
The pace in which you will get a beer belly is lesser when you drink a rice flake beer. So that was the reason why we went into it, and then they wanted us to have as an Indian brand.
Yeah.
Like the restaurants, because there were like quite a lot of Polish brands in the market. But we ourselves didn't want it as an Indian brand, because the Indian brand means you are restricting yourself to Indian restaurants, which is what you normally see, because when you walk out of an Indian restaurant, you don't see any Indian beer in supermarkets over here or another bars.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we came up with this idea of calling it the hybrid beer, because technically the rice flakes are from India and the hops, the one which you're using for the beer, are from Europe. So it's kind of a
fusion.
Yes.
Okay.
So fusion, we thought about it, but then fusion is always going with the food. So that's when for the beer we put hybrid. So people would think and at least like check what it is.
Okay.
So that's the reason, the marketing point. And coming to naming it, we didn't want it Indian, but this is something which was brought out of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. And at that time there was an article in Times of India, which the headline, if I remember it right, was "It's our duty," says Malayali volunteers, because most of the Indian diaspora who were at the border helping out during evacuation Operation Ganga were from Kerala, where we are called Malayalis. So that's when we thought like, why don't we put Malayali then? It was just a crazy thought.
Mm-hmm.
And before putting Malayali, it's a word which is representing nearly 35 million, 40 million people, we just checked if it is possible to do, because we cannot just put it today and then tomorrow it goes into a bigger problem. And luckily the trademark was available. So we put in the papers and we got the trademark done worldwide for alcohol and beverage section. That's how we made it the Malayali. And that is the birth of Malayali.
Do you have any tips and tricks for people who would like to start their own business, like an entrepreneur? Like, how should they go about it?
Never think too much.
Mm-hmm.
For an entrepreneur, any given idea, the first step you take without thinking the consequences, that's entrepreneurship. You could fail, you could rise again, you can learn. There is never a failure. You're always learning. That is the process. So if you have some idea you want to convert to, first you're trying to get a mentor, because mentors are always important.
So as I understand that you are the director of IPCCI, and could you let our young entrepreneurs know how the forum can help the young entrepreneurs to shape their business?
Definitely. I mean, IPCCI, the whole foundation is based on helping out entrepreneurs from India to move to Poland, as well as from Poland to move to India. What we do for them is basically ease of getting things done. In terms of advice, in terms of accounting, in terms of getting a lawyer for the firm, and also liaising with the Polish government for Indian companies to move, and vice versa. So once anybody could write down an email to IPCCI, and we would definitely respond. And we are bringing in a lot of companies and helping a lot of companies to move.
So we are moving on to our very fun segment. I would like to call it Rapid Fire. It's very original. I invented it. So we would start with
Hope your rapid fire don't kill me.
I mean, we need all the spice, so please. So here we go. What is the most adventurous thing that you have ever done? Give
I
it to
know
us. I can feel that break. But
Yeah, I know it's on camera. I don't know if it's adventure, but at one point of time, I mean, I've been broke many times, but at one point of time when I was broke, I have sold my sperm to get 90 euros to finance my thing. So
you
I've done
did
it.
that? Was that inspired by the movie?
No,
Or you just
this was back in 2007, I think.
That's entrepreneurial, guys.
In fact, I bought beer for cheap from a supermarket in Spain to resell the beer on a margin. So my beer story has been started. It's been there for a long time.
And fun fact, you don't even drink beer.
Yeah.
Like you don't even have alcohol.
No, I don't drink at all.
That's great. Okay, moving on. If you could have any superpower, what would that be?
I would love to do time travel. I would like to turn back time or even go forward and see what the consequences are. I know it kills the fun, but I would really love to do that.
So you would just go back to your past and you would change something?
Yeah, certain things for sure.
Like, so you have a lot of things that you regret.
I can't say regret. I would love to do it again and see if I had approached it differently, how would it be. Regret is something which I don't do at all. I always learn.
Okay.
Even if it's something wrong, I always learn.
Okay. So what is your favorite movie of all time that you can watch every day of your life?
Godfather.
If you had to eat one food for the rest of your life, what would that be?
That's hard. Is it a combo? If it is a combo, parota and beef for sure.
Yeah, it's a combo.
Yeah, so parota and beef for sure.
Very safe answer for a moment, but I would give it to you. And what is your favorite hobby?
Favorite hobby is to literally look into something new to be done all the time, not a repetitive thing. So maybe to do something new every single day.
If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go?
India.
Yeah?
Yes, absolutely.
To Kerala?
Not necessarily, but India.
Okay. And other than India? Because I'm not counting that because you're from India. I want to take
Other
that.
than India, I mean, I would love to go back to Spain, Barcelona for sure.
What's your favorite book?
But I like book series of Richard Branson.
What is your biggest fear?
That I would die without fulfilling almost all my dreams, and my dreams would just die with me.
If you could trade lives with anyone for a day, who would it be?
Narendra Modi.
Wow. What would you do? What would you do different?
I would improve the education system, which I feel is like kind of outdated, because being in Europe
Very true.
and seeing how my kids are growing up and the education system they are in, I would like to implement few things based on that.
And the most controversial topic, pierogi or parota?
Parota for sure. Any
You
given day.
realize that your wife will be watching this?
Yeah, she would be far more happy that she doesn't have to cook for me. That he will cook for himself. Okay, you eat parota, you do it.
You do it.
She'd be happy.
So that would be it for now. So thank you guys for watching, and thank you Chetan for accepting our request to just invade your private space and come here and interview you.
Thank you, Anuradha, and thank you, Poland Talks. And it's not about invading, as you said about, you were asking about entrepreneurship and starting. I know you guys are starting a channel. I wish you all the luck, and I'm just giving a chance, which I could do. I could sit and talk, and that's what I did. So I'm just doing my part. That's all.
Thank you everyone for watching, and if you have any questions regarding Poland, the TRC visas or anything about entrepreneurship, you can write it down to us in the comment section and we will get back to you. So till then, stay tuned and bye-bye.